Welcome to Tenerife. It's the third place game of the FIBA Intercontinental Cup in 2020. San Lorenzo and the Rio Grande Vipers, after losing semi-finals on Friday, face off for the consolation game and a third place finish. Here is the schedule for this evening, with this game at 4:30 local time, and then Segafredo versus Bologna and Epistello Tenerife will face off at 1900 here on the Canary Islands. Well, the Santiago Martina Arena is beginning to fill up. The Tenerife fans arriving early to watch what should be, I think, a really fascinating matchup of contrasting styles. Wimmy Lloyd Gardner-Lloyd, we saw what the Rio Grande Valley Vipers do, and obviously San Lorenzo did as well. They've got to find a way to stop them and counter a really different way of playing this game.
Absolutely, Mark. It's a pleasure to be here with you, but if you haven't seen the Vipers play, it is a distinct style. They copied the Houston Rockets' small ball methodology, small ball lineups, and that's going to be the challenge for San Lorenzo today. Can they keep up with the space? You know, can they keep up with the size, the athleticism that the Vipers put on the floor, because it's small, it's quick, it's mobile, and they play with tremendous spacing as well.
Well, we saw the game on Friday night. They really did give Tenerife a real battle. And it wasn't until late in the game that Tenerife really established control. But these are the two teams that are going to participate in this third place game. Let's take a look. Well, now we're going to get into the introductions of the players. Lloyd, nice presentation by the guys here in Tenerife, really setting up this third place game. We're going to get a look at the rosters in a moment, but the introductions of the Vipers first. And Lloyd, it doesn't matter where you start, everybody runs and shoots the basketball. Yeah,
that's exactly it. It's interchangeable. They have just two forwards by position listed on this roster. So you can see it is a small lineup. You know, only really two guys over 6'6" of any notable size. There's a Maker who's one of those two, but they spread you out. We heard Coach on the Vipers staff said that they were aiming to shoot 53s in their semi-final game. They failed in that particular target, but they will spread you out. They will shoot the three.
And it's the first step. If you don't defend the first step, they just break you down. If they don't get to the ring, they'll kick it, and you're chasing defensively. You don't control them. They get what they want. And that's going to be the challenge for this San Lorenzo team, surely, containing this Vipers lineup.
Yeah, well, we saw for San Lorenzo, you know, one of their key guys, Esteban Batista, you know, he struggled with the pace of the game when Bologna really got up and down the floor for multiple possessions. So can they use Batista on the floor? Are they going to have to go to the smaller lineup? So I would say San Lorenzo do have the ability to play slightly smaller, though. So that might help when we see Matador coming out onto the floor as well. You know, he is one guy that could slip into that 4 position, even though traditionally he's more of a 3.
Well, the challenge is, and Tenerife had it, Batista will probably be able to score in his own time, in his own space. He's just going to struggle to get back and guard anybody.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's just a fascinating counterbalance of styles of personnel, and you know, you love to watch it because it really is just a test to see who comes out on top. That's what we saw with Tenerife the other day. You know, the Vipers, they wore them down, they wore them down, they wore them down. Tenerife just found in that fourth quarter a way to play, and it's got to be said, you know, the score probably flattered Tenerife at the end.
Oh, absolutely flattered Tenerife. It wasn't until the last 5 minutes that really the game was decided, and one of the issues that, before we get into that, these are the 3 referees, Antonio Conde at home here in Spain, and Mascal and Kozlovskis from Mexico and Latvia. So that point I was trying to make, like 25 turnovers for the Vipers lineup. They talked about it in the press conference. They can't win turning the ball over 25 times, but they want to run.
Yeah, that's absolutely it. Turnovers, missed free throws. That's what Coach Abdel Fattah spoke about in the press conference. Said he thought they were the right plays, they just didn't execute them. And you see the size of the lineups. Jarrell Martin, he's a forward. Mator Maker, he's a forward as well. Apart from that, everyone else listed as a guard on their lineup. And it's got to be said, someone like Jarrell Martin, even though he starts essentially at the center, he's a guy that loves to face up, play out on the perimeter. He doesn't really ever post.
Their athleticism hides some of that size issues in the way they compete on the glass, but the trouble for San Lorenzo is they look really effective as we take a look at Coach Abdel Fattah. Great personality, made a lot of friends while he's been here in Tenerife, and as he said, part of an organization that stresses a way to play. His role is to put that on the floor with this G League team.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it starts with the Houston Rockets, the NBA franchise, of which the Vipers are part of it. So this is an experiment. It's a way of them building players and coaches for that Houston team. Well,
here is the lineup for Nesta Garcia. And Nesta Garcia will be Olympic qualifying tournament bound after the end of the season. But at the moment, his focus is on trying to get a 4-peat in Argentina and a 2-peat in the Liga Americas. So this lineup's got quality. They just have to control tempo.
Yeah, and Aguirre, the starting point guard, did a relatively decent job the other day, but I like that backcourt combination of Tucker and Gonzalez together. We didn't really see that a lot. Gonzalez came off the bench a little bit later, picked up early fouls, which hampered his ability to control the game. And Dar Tucker really is the star for Nesta Garcia, the top scorer in the Intercontinental Cup Final Four last year. Top scored for them in their first game as well.
Yeah, and Tucker, even though he's getting the same number of minutes as everybody else, really does put some numbers up. Here's the starting lineup for Rio Grande Vipers, which is pretty much how they started the other day. Kerwin Roach, for me, is just phenomenally quick. Isaiah Taylor, they're all so good at what they do.
Yeah, I mean, Taylor and Roach played at the University of Texas together, so they have a good combination. They're a tough backcourt.
Well, Batista starts, which is what you have to really go if you're going to get him early. Paniello at the power forward probably has the foot speed to try and stay with it defensively, but they're just going to get turned, and it's about how they structure their defensive rotations. And also, Lloyd, there's going to be a lot of missed shots here. There's going to be a lot of shots in this game. These fans have traveled a long way to be here. They've had a great time. It's been a tremendous atmosphere. And it's one of those moments in the basketball calendar where the world of basketball comes to one place and celebrates the quality and has fun.
Absolutely. There's no changes there to the San Lorenzo starting lineup. And you feel like the Vipers just forced you to make changes. So they've gone with the same five, which did struggle at times to break down Bologna off the dribble. They struggled to get any penetration into the paint. So I'm not sure how they plan on doing that against this Vipers team. Maybe they'll go use guys like Aaron Jaramipour we see there in the low post. Are they just going to go to Batista really early and try and establish him against what will be mismatches? You know, Vipers, they'll switch ball screens. They'll play guards against bigs. And the biggest difference, I think, for Tenerife the other day was traditionally if a team has a little on big like that, they'll either foul or they'll come double. Vipers don't do that. They just play straight up, point guard against center on the low block and say to the offensive player, you're going to have to score against us.
The other thing we talked a lot the other day about was would teams play zone, but often you don't even get a chance to set your defense because they've got it and gone. So we can talk about things like setting a zone, but it's just not going to get set at all.
They just play the percentage games. Obviously, this is a one-off, but over the course of a season, they say, well, you know, things like you may score against us, you may score 2, but we're going to score 3 at the other end. They forced Tenerife to be just the second time all season they had gone over 100 points to beat them the other day, and that's probably what San Lorenzo are going to have to do. San Lorenzo are going to have to score points to win this game.
So moments away from one of the conclusion of one of those great moments throughout the basketball year where the basketball world does come together. The Basketball Champions League Americas. You've got the G League in this contest. And as I say, it's one of those opportunities where boundaries, barriers, countries mean nothing. This is about basketball being played between some of the best in the world in a great atmosphere, in a great facility. And that's what we have here in Tenerife. Knowledgeable fans, used to winning, used to seeing really good basketball. So wherever you're joining us from, whichever part of the world you are joining our broadcast here, San Lorenzo are in the white, the Rio Grande Valley Vipers in the red. This is the third place game in the Intercontinental Cup. And I'll warn you now, hold on to your hats, because this is going to be up and down. And this is not going to be one of those half-court explorations of the technology of basketball. This is about run and play. And we're underway. And San Lorenzo and Aguirre will have the first look at it. Pinheiro will find Batista. They look to the second side. They're going to Tucker in the post. So guard on guard. Nice skip. Wide open three, but it's Aguirre, and he will not shoot it. And that's the same problem they had the other night, Lloyd.
When Aguirre played 27 minutes in the semi-final, he was scoreless, and he had 1 assist. So he's going to have to be a factor offensively. You know, he's going to need to make plays for San Lorenzo, either scoring or creating shot opportunities for others.
Taylor in the half court. The penetration to the baseline, reverse layup is sweet. Beautiful little finish by Brandon Sampson.
That's it. Mata and Pinheiro are going to have the difficult matchups, trying to slow down, which, you know, essentially shooting guards from the Vipers.
Batista going to work down low and just at his own pace, it's worded that way, gets the reverse layup.
It was interesting. He caught it away from the block. What Batista does have is a little bit more of an ability to play off the bounce than we saw with Shermadini the other day.
Jump hook in the lane, no good. Defensive rebound is pulled in by Mata. He looks long. Batista beats everybody down the floor. That is not something I thought I'd say in this game. Batista deep, goes to the left, and really could have gone right, and he'd have been clear on the finish. But like you say, Lloyd, that was just straight up one-on-one.
Yeah. No double team coming, really, especially from height. They're just going to let the guards battle. That's Taylor trying to fight. Batista is wondering why he's not getting 2 shots. And you've got to say, probably wasn't the act of shooting. But
Tucker will take the Batista screen, and they just switch that. Flops it inside. Batista inside out. Mata for 3.
Great quality. It's Batista that's doing it. And if they can knock down that 3 ball, that'll help space the floor, give more room for Batista.
Corner 3 the other way. And Sampson, no hesitation. I'm in the corner. I've got to shoot the 3. That's what we do. Wrap pass. Batista inside out. They take the extra on hand in the lane by Sampson, who's, as you'd expect, up and down the floor, getting it going. Early substitution for the Vipers as Karen Roach a little gingerly walks out of the game.
They're so quick at rotating back out, the Vipers. So when they do help or the ball comes into the low post, any recovery out, they switch and really take away any advantage.
Mata to the corner. Pinheiro with a 3 is good. Well, we talked about the fact that the Vipers would come out and take the early 3. San Lorenzo, really confident. Turnover, Tucker's off to the races, 2-on-1. Aguile's with him, gets the bounce pass, goes up, doesn't get the finish. Tucker's on the glass, he'll recycle. And Aguirre just scoring is not part of it. Oh, through the legs. Batista for 2. Sweet little pass. Whistle on the play. You don't like the way San Lorenzo is spacing the floor and letting Batista play.
Yeah, absolutely. They've done a really good job. As I said, if they can knock down those couple of 3s, that helps them. And defensively, they've done a pretty good job. We did talk, you know, San Lorenzo against Bologna.
Oh,
nice little easy backdoor lob. But, you know, Argentinian basketball generally is fast-paced as well. So I don't think this will be as much of a shock for them as it is like a team for such as Tenerife, who's used to the more controlled European game.
Aguirre will take the Batista screen. He doesn't dive. He's going to screen again. Aguirre skips. Pinello. Mata outside, puts it on the floor. 3 on the clock. Goes to Batista. Ball fake, far side of the ring. Blows it. And he didn't hit the ring, although Batista is claiming that it hit the ring on his shot. I think the referees have got this absolutely correct. I'm sure we'll get a replay. Here, well, there's the replay of the lob. And all 3 officials, and I did not see it hit the ring at all, so I think they got it absolutely right. Esteban Batista can't believe he missed the ring from 2 feet. Little flare, open 3 is short. Batista's on the glass, and Sampson can't get another one to go. Here comes Mata. Pass to Mata, Tucker on the far side of the ring. Great challenge. Vipers in transition. Sampson going up fearlessly to the glass. And they all retain possession.
That's it, isn't it? You go one way, you miss, they're coming straight back at you, Vipers, and often it's from beyond the 3-point line. There was an open drive there. And Sampson's claiming he was fouled. There was a lot of contact.
Got to say, Batista went up in his own space, I suppose. Back pass, cut for the throwdown, and Sampson's all over the stat sheet early.
Yeah, Sampson said, okay, if you won't give me the foul, make sure I go a bit harder next time. Great work from him off the ball.
Tucker will... Batista's being a focal point here, not necessarily on the catch, but he's dragging Martin out of the middle. Now he'll dive, wants a touch, gets it down low. They're going to try and space off him. Nice cut. Mata is blocked. Chance for the Vipers to run. They've got numbers down the floor. Corner 3. They turn it down. They don't turn down the deep 3 from beyond the elbow into the corner. Drops the 3. And Osius doesn't care, does he?
Just a constant movement. Osius, you know, missed, got his rebound, kicked it back out, but immediately sprinted to the corner. Defense was still trying to recover from the rebound, and he's left wide open.
Here's Dar Tucker, who at the moment is trying to be provider. Batista, he blows it. That'll frustrate him. That was just, I was going to say too easy, but he missed the too easy shot. That's got to be a charging foul.
Great defense from Tucker. They're going to force Batista to have a really big night tonight. You know, they're just going to say to him, you've got to play. The time before is interesting. He caught it on the low block. So often, you see that's where you see the double team come. And Vipers do a really good job. So you see the backdoor cut from Sampson. They do a really good job of not helping before it's needed.
Yep.
You know, they're in good position. Unless Batista's making a move to score, they don't help. When he does, that's when they'll come help. And it's often so late that they get turnovers and steals from it.
Pinero with a handoff. Aguirre will move it on. Mata out top. Mata tries to work his way to the inside. In the lane, kicks it. Tucker lines up. The 3 is long. And here come the Vipers again. 5 guys down the floor. It's a 5-on-4. To the ring for 2. And there's the Batista problem. They can get 5 down quicker than Batista can get back. They've got to protect the ring. The easy 2 opens it out to a 4-point lead.
They haven't made a sub yet, San Lorenzo. 5.5 into the game at this tempo. And this is where you watch Vipers. When he goes to score, you see Thornwell comes over and he's aggressive. Good work from Batista to get it out again.
Tucker with a soft touch for 2.
And that's the other day. They're the ones they turned over, isn't it, the Vipers?
Yep. On
the double team, when they do go, they go and they're aggressive at trying to steal the ball.
Taylor gets his feet set, fires the 3, and it's another super-looking 3.
Well, he was the most impressive player for me in the semi-final. 13.7 assists from Taylor, did everything. You know, knocked it down, really created offensively off the dribble as well.
Batista gets another touch. The double team comes. Now he needs to find the open man. They do a great job at literally zoning out. Aguirre for 3 from deep and just fills it up. And we said he had to shoot. He had no alternative then because of the shot clock.
I was going to say, where was that the other day?
Corner 3 is short. Martin comes down with it, but is going to lose it as Mata picks it up. There's a lot of people sucking air on the floor at the moment. Pinello for three is no good. Taka's on the glass. Batista just about gets into the half court. And it turned it over again.
All the Vipers run into the three-point line. Leaves the space for Thornwell.
No one gets their feet wet in the keyway, and Aguirre says, I've got to catch my breath here. Let's get over the halfway line. Let's run some half court. Aguirre with a Batista screen. Matza moves it on. Batista deep. Got to finish this play. Gets into traffic and finishes that play for two. Timeout for the Vipers.
It's such a better pass. When you pass from the top down, it's easy for Batista to see the guys running in to help. So he can find corners a lot easier, and then he can play one-on-one without the help. When he catches it on the block, it's harder because he's got to go further before he can score, and then also the double team can come from where he can't see it as easily. So sometimes he's turning into the double team, and it's taking him by surprise.
Let's take a listen into Coach Abdel Fattah's timeout. There are the leading scorers with Sampson and Taylor. And they score, obviously, Lloyd, taking so many threes, they score them in bunches.
That's it. We were talking the other day that there's so many possessions in the game when Vipers are playing that it means a lead isn't really a lead. You know, 10 points is nothing because it's the possessions are so quick that they have enough of them to come back all the time.
I see your attack and sit. Set the flip for Jabari. As he comes off, charge. As he comes off, you dive straight downhill, all right? Go. Two.
So, Lloyd, there's a lot of guys who want to run downhill out here because the pace has been phenomenal already. And I like you, I'm amazed at the lack of rotations off of the San Lorenzo bench until now, because they make multiple. Only two guys remain. Pinello and D'Artaka will stay.
Is this a zone as well, the way they're lining up?
Looks like Jerome Paul's going to be in the middle of a zone. And coming down at them, Isaiah Taylor has the basketball. Takes the screen, it gets him to the baseline, needs a pass, drops it inside, and they miss the runner. Chance to run for San Lorenzo. Vildoza, who had a nice game at, if anyone had a nice game, he had a nice game the other night. From the up goes inside. Jerome Paul doesn't feel the help coming and just turns it over. Nice long pass. I think it goes inside out. Here comes the three, is long. Jerome Paul gets the rebound. Chance for a fella up to advance the basketball. Vildoza thinks about it. Jerome Paul is just going to be a little bit more aware, Lloyd, where the help's coming from. He sat there and watched that. Now they don't hold it. Ball stolen. Chance for Brown in transition. Nice bounce pass for the easy two.
Again, though, Jerome Paul's caught it twice on the block on the side of the floor. And that's why he spins thinking he's playing one against one. The double team comes so quickly that he's unable to make the play once he knows it's there.
Rupp just kicks it. Vildoza just taking some time out of it now. They fire up the three, and Rupp just announces himself off the bench, knocks down the three. Meanwhile, coming the other way, Brown gets his feet there, attacks it, kicks it. Well, they turned down one. Put that one in the book somewhere.
Yeah, he just didn't pick it up off his feet enough. I won't pass up another one.
That's short from the corner from Thornwell. Vildoza and Pinero combined. Tucker has it. Tucker has made the tough runner most of the time looking to become provider. Rupp goes to the work and one. Off the bench, makes the three, penetrates. Super little move.
Yeah, fantastic play from him. The change of direction, really good. Watch this one. Yeah, that crossover. Protection to finish with his left hand as well.
And against this quality, quickness defensive-wise, he's got to make that crossover as well as he did. The ball protection was excellent. D'Artaka finally takes some moments on the bench after literally going the first 9 minutes. And Gonzalez checks in. Thornwell advances the basketball. The early three is long. It's Taylor's turn to fire it early. Vildoza hands it off. Pinero's had a really solid first 10 minutes. Vildoza has it back. Now they're going to try and run. Vildoza on a little give and go, finds himself scrambling for the ball. Under 5 on the clock. Vildoza, far side of the ring, soft touch. Great work on the glass by Jerome Paul. Ticks it over again. 5-point advantage for San Lorenzo.
That's what you got to do if you do get the mismatches. If you're Jerome Paul, make sure you're a presence on the glass.
Brown for 3, right in front of us. Can't get it to go. And Vildoza again. Just run until they get 11 seconds or so. Now they're going to have to try and hold for the last shot.
Zone for Vipers.
Oh, they're just going to line up the early 3. Pinello, who underlines a really good first quarter for him personally and for San Lorenzo, who've racked up 27 points. They lead it 27-19, and they've come to play. .27% from the three-point line, Lloyd.
Yeah, and San Lorenzo 5 of 7. There's the big difference.
Yeah.
3-point shooting. We expected Vipers to space them out. But this is, you know, the conversation we had both on air and off air. When you're playing a team the way the Vipers play, an 8-point game is nothing. And you almost feel like it's a massive lead for San Lorenzo because they've done everything right. They've shot it well. They've got to the ring. Vipers haven't really turned up yet. And yet it's only 8 points. And in a blink of an eye, they're going to be back in the game. You know that. You know when they start to knock these threes down, which they're going to do at one stage or another, they're going to get on a run and get themselves back into this one.
Well, and the other thing to note, obviously, with the, you know, the greater depth to the three-point line in the G League and in the NBA, you know, these guys are used to shooting these shots for fun, and they're not going to worry about the 27% stat, are they? Because they're going to look at it at the end of the game, not after one. They're going to keep shooting this. I love the way that San Lorenzo, though, have come out and set their stall about how they want to play the game. And Dar Tucker, for me, really does give you the best example of that. Their leading scorer has hardly shot the ball because he's trying to provide for, in particular, other people on the inside.
And it helps the other guys have maximised what they're going to do. As I said, Tucker's taken 3 shots. The 5 of 7 3-point shooting helps everybody now. You know, the fact that Matt has made one, the fact that, you know, Piniero's made a couple as well, really opens up the floor for the rest of them. So it means guys like Vildoza we just saw there, Tucker, they have more space to play off the dribble. We saw Philip being able to get to the ring. And then also Jeramipour and Batista. Now it's easier for them to play one-on-one because the help rotation is worried about getting back to guys they know can make threes.
Start of quarter 2, and the Vipers go as big as they can go, Lloyd, with both Maker and the presence of Jarrell Martin on the floor at the same time. Maker comes high, he'll hand off. Just a quick step. Maker's on the glass, though, gets it, goes back up, gets the 2. And, well, we talked about it earlier on, Roach is quick.
Absolutely. Another example of it, he was quick, he didn't finish, but his penetration caused the rotation and that left Maker to be free on the rebound.
Vildoza attacks it, goes with the left hand, takes the tough one off the corner of the glass.
This type of game suits Vildoza, actually. He likes to play like this. Up and down, dribble penetration, attacking mismatches. You know, he's the type of player who can thrive in this environment.
Here's Brown out top, gets the ball screen for Martin, gets inside, extra step, and is fouled by Jerome Paul. And he will go to the free throw line. They just space and spread you, and they create those long closeouts, and they're just going to attack you.
I think the most impressive thing about the way they play is their you know, the way they will not play in any other way. They refuse to be bent at all in their style. So this is the way they're going to play. This is what they're going to do. Everybody on their team knows, okay, we get open looks, we take them. The percentages, like we talked about, the 27%, they don't even matter because this is the way they're going to play and they're not going to bend for anything or anyone.
Furup, who's really done a nice job coming off the bench. Gonzalez, quiet still at the moment, but hasn't had that many minutes on the floor. Moves it on, gets it back. Now he attacks it. Quick first step and kick. Poor pass. They have to take the tough one in the corner, and one. And Martin looks at the referee as to say, me? but they scrambled it, and off the bench, Maximo Fellerup has been phenomenal. 8 points personal in no time.
Well, the shooting of San Lorenzo today has been exceptional. 6 of 8 now. I really like the play. Gonzalez, he had to switch, but rather than force the action, boomeranged it. So he gave it up, got it back, and that caught Maker sleeping.
Yep.
That's how he got the steps advantage before he found Fuller up in the corner for the shot.
Well, I'd say 10-point lead early in quarter 2. Barry Brown gets it to the corner. Martin throws an air ball, but Roach finds it. There's only 10 on the possession. Brown doesn't need any time at all because from way downtown, he just buries it.
He was 5 of 7 for 3 yesterday, Brown. Missed his first couple here. See, 1 of 3 now, but he's a guy who can get going.
Just a couple of sighters, Lloyd. Just, you know, feel my range today. Fuller up with it on his knees. Leans back. Almost made that one. Maker brings it. Oh, Vildoza read it and then tries to get a little pretty with it. They turn it back over. Martin to the corner. He goes sideline pick and roll. Brown thinks about it, gets it to Martin, puts it on the floor. Goes strong, watch out. And Jerome Paul said, where was my help? The help was worrying about the 3 from the other side of the floor.
Well, Martin was so aggressive on the drive. The moment he sold the fake and Jerome lifted, that's it. You knew what was happening. And I don't think Pinheiro wanted anything to do with trying to rotate and get in front of that one.
Well, Pinheiro's now been out there for the first 12 minutes of the game. I wouldn't want to get in the way of that.
Gone to Cafaro on the inside. Didn't see much of him yesterday, so...
And we haven't seen, who I thought we would see, Justin Williams, who I thought played well yesterday.
Yeah, I agree.
Gonzalez thinks about it. Defense trying to squeeze a little up tighter. Cafaro, they look, give him a touch. Got to read where the help comes from. Spins to the middle with the left hand. Doesn't get the finish, gets his own rebound. And the shot just made him change the block attempt, made him change it. Brown has now found his range.
Yeah, but that's it, isn't it? Cafaro comes in, wants to score, misses, and Vipers say, yep, no problem, try and score against us. 1-on-1 on the block. You can't, we'll take this 3 the other way. And as you said, Brown now starting to find that range. He's got 8 points, Brown. And what did I say, the quarter? That lead is nothing, because as soon as Vipers start to hit a couple of threes, and it's really only been Brown that's done it, that's it, they're straight back into the game.
Well, we're going to get a listen to Coach Garcia's timeout, but we talked about that, and you've just mentioned it again about the margin and how quickly it was a 10-point game, it's a 1-point game. And we said the same things about Tenerife yesterday. If you don't score, they're coming.
Absolutely. And like I said, apart from making shots, Vipers haven't played any better in that last little spell. They've still done exactly the same thing. The only difference is San Lorenzo, rather than them making the threes, they missed a post up, and Vipers have come down. They just made a couple now. So, you know, nothing has changed about the way the game is being played, but Vipers have got themselves right back into this one.
Well, Cafaro's got to be effective, because, as you pointed out earlier on, if the inside is effective, it makes life a lot easier for everybody else, and the spacing is a lot of pressure off people. But I can only assume Williams has a problem with it.
When he's up and he's moving around like he's ready to go. I mean, he didn't play a lot of minutes yesterday. I know you know, we thought he did pretty well. He didn't score though in his time on the floor.
Gonzalez finds Vildoza. Going baseline, needs a pass, drops it inside. Fillerup again is the man moving. And Maximo Fillerup has gone maximum. Really excellent performance so far. It's double-digit points.
Lovely cut. Yeah, really good movement off the ball.
Boykins just about hangs on to it, gets his feet set. He takes his turn to fire it up. And he was a little quiet yesterday, but he dropped that one sweetly.
Well, Boykins is their second leading scorer by average coming into this one from the G League.
Brown wraps it. Everybody's down the floor. Martin's wide open on the three-point line. They're going to call that. offensive.
In the previous possession, I have to chuckle because when Boykins made his 3, as the pass was coming to him, 2 San Lorenzo players were running to the guy in the corner. So 2 people guarded the guy in the corner who hadn't even got the ball yet, knowing that's where Vipers wanted to get it to take the 3.
Mata. And Mata and Pinheiro in that sort of 4-man spot have really been effective. Turnover, here they come again, and it's just point of transition, they're off. Great recovery, Philippa again. Having a career night so far, gives it up. Vildoza attacks it, goes with a floater off the glass for 2. And it's San Lorenzo's turn to turn their defense into quick points the other way.
And that's one of those turnovers like the ones that plagued Vipers down the stretch yesterday. You know, poor pass in transition.
Kieran Roach gets his first points of the night. Vildoza trying to take some time out of the possession. First few passes, now they'll start to move. Tacks it, gets it knocked away. Turnover, slow to get up, recovered. Brown has it, drops it off. Boykins is fouled and will have to go to the free throw line. And they are absolutely relentless in their desire to get down the floor.
If you have live ball turnovers like that one, they will slaughter you.
Yeah.
It's important to somehow control tempo, but often the best way of controlling the tempo is to score. And that'll slow them down a little bit, but you can't turn it over the way Vildoza did there, trying to dribble between 2 or 3 people, because the moment they get the ball, everybody's lined up, ready to run.
First of the free throws is good. After trailing by 10, and then now lead by 2. And make that by 3. We have a 37-40 point game, and it's still 5 minutes to go in the half, Lloyd. If you like your basketball high scoring, that's exactly what you're getting here. Vildoza goes left, gets into the lane in traffic, tries to get it off. Philippa fakes, gets to mid-range, leans in, doesn't get it. Great defensive rebound by Martin. Didn't really have a right to get it, but found a space. And I can only assume Brown's saying, you're supposed to stand in the corner.
That's exactly it. It's such a rare thing. You know, traditionally that cut from the corner along the baseline is something we see a lot in Europe. And the Vipers don't traditionally do it. They just stand, they plant, they just wait for the 3 in the corner. Boykins actually went, and it kind of confused Brown.
Well, Maximo Fellerup checks out after a really impressive stint. Aguele.
This is the more traditional lineup for San Lorenzo in the backcourt as well, because you've got Tucker, Aguirre and Gonzalez on the floor for the first time as a 3.
And Batista's back and wants and gets in the block. Faces, spins back. They're going to call travel, which he is going to be mortified about. If looks could kill, I think is the phrase. It's this, but he calls us a travel, and he sort of picked it up, but I've seen worse not called. Here's Taylor. Roach gives him a pass after a little soft penetration. Spent a little bit of time with it this time. Martin gives him the high screen. Roach drops it inside Martin to the glass. Is fouled by Batista. They're going to call it travel.
Just took a little jump, didn't he, after the dribble here. One. Oh, yeah, there you go. Just kind of stunted the feet. I think they're going to try and line Batista up in the pick and roll, trying to attack him with their guards.
Here's Tucker, still looking to be provider, not scorer. Gonzalez, who's still being very quiet. Gets it inside.
Much better.
Travel again.
It's a better angle entry that time because it came from high. And Batista had it with so much space. Let's have a look.
Yeah, he did. But I guess the man Batista's thinking, I'm on limited minutes here. You've just maybe run 2 lengths of the floor and called travel on me. I haven't got many more lengths left in me. Batista just zones against it. Martin, that goes up off the glass for 2.
Taylor's lost his shoe. Still on, but it's not on properly. He's trying to slam his feet back, get it back.
And now they turn it over, and they've been
3 straight.
It's really one that now they're insisting, oh, we got to throw it into Batista, and they've come up empty 3 trips trying to make the same pass. So Néstor Garcia is going to take time out.
Y aparte hay que defender solo 10 segundos porque van para atrás. Derecha.
3:30 to go in the first half. Taylor takes it off the glass, goes short. Aguirre leads the break. Batista's trying to get there to set the screen. Now he does. Tucker down the lane, changes the shot for 2. Nice finish.
They've gone even smaller, Vipers. 5 complete guards on the floor now. Who is Batista going to match up with?
I think the answer is no one, though. He's just going to stay in the keyway and say, go on, then. Taylor. The open 3 is no good, as Thornwell is the man that Batista decides to guard, or he's told to guard. They go sideline pick and roll. Aguirre moves the ball on. Tucker has it. Batista going to go to work here, and is fouled on the floor. Tucker looks to attack it on the floor, goes up with a tough one and finishes. Well, one thing Tucker can do is score.
And that was a hard basket to make as well. Good defense from the Vipers.
Thornwell will screen the sideline. In the lane with a running hook is no good for Osius. Mata will advance it. Takes the lane into the middle, kicks it. Tucker slices. And Gonzalez and Mata got in each other's way, really. Dozer's going to check in for Gonzalez, who's a little out of sorts yesterday because of the foul trouble, and he's had the same type of issue today.
12 first half turnovers for San Lorenzo. And the Vipers will force turnovers, but a lot of these are unforced errors from San Lorenzo.
Go upstairs to Martin, who went to the penthouse to throw that one down. Vildosa. Batista outside, just about recover. Tucker has it, under 10, decides to fire the 3, is long. Aguirre chases it down with a new 14. Batista will screen. Now he goes deep, and the pass was poor from Tucker. Went to the side of the defense. Just will turn it over the other way. It's got really messy in the last couple of minutes. Tucker turns it over. Pushes on the runway for the soft little dunk.
Another turnover, isn't it? That's what it's been the real Achilles heel for San Lorenzo in this first half. They played so well, you know, probably first 12, 13 minutes.
Tucker to the middle, far side of the ring for two. Took the contact and finished the play. Straight back the other way. Thornwell has it. Martin spins. And left Batista for dead.
Martino has only played one G League game with the Vipers because he was with the Cleveland Cavaliers in the NBA until that. So he has great pedigree. Really starting to find his comfort level in this second quarter.
Udosa challenges, going baseline, gets to the lane and kicks. Aguirre with a three. Ball's recovered by Matto, puts it straight back up for two. And we have a timeout with the Vipers with a three-point game with just over 3 to go in the first half. And it's so these last 3 minutes will set the tempo, the tone for the second half. Can they not turn the ball over, San Lorenzo, for the last 3 minutes? They're right in this.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what they have to do. They have to find a way of looking after the ball in these, you know, going into the second half, that's for sure. So it's important for them to be able to look after it, get high-quality shots every time, because they have that massive advantage with Batista in and around the ring.
29-point quarter for the Vipers.
Yeah, I was just looking at the scoring sort of breakdown, really. 32-23, it was a minute and a half into the second quarter, and that's when the Vipers really started to turn the screws, really started to push their advantage. They turned that into a lead very quickly indeed. So
they're going to try and get one. Get some positive momentum going into the halftime break.
And look to pass it long here to begin with. Clock won't start till someone touches it.
Yep.
Williams is getting his first action.
They go long, that's a back call. And now they're going to get 2 seconds to get a shot down the other end, which is more than doable for San Lorenzo. Tucker will come back.
No timeouts left for San Lorenzo. They're going to have to try and draw something up.
Tucker's asking whether he can go. Doesn't want to go back. He wants to go forward, right? Matters the man. He's got plenty of time, but he fires it up from the halfway line. Doesn't get it to go. And we've reached halftime of the third place game. After trailing by double digits, the Rio Grande Valley Vipers have a 48-45 advantage over San Lorenzo. And the field goal percentages for everybody are way up there. 50% from the three-point line, Lloyd.
Yeah, don't forget they were, what, 5 of 7 at the end of the first quarter. And the same thing for Rio Grande Valley Vipers the other way. So they were just 27%. Now they're at 40. So the numbers, they flip-flopped in that second quarter to nearly be even now. And that's why Vipers have the lead. For San Lorenzo, I think that they'll go into this one saying, yeah, we just got to make some adjustments. 15 turnovers in the first half for them. Look after the ball, get high-quality shots every time. They proved that they can play the tempo to beat the Vipers.
So we'll be back in around 10 minutes or so to see who will be the third-place team in the 2020 Intercontinental
Estamos en el tiempo de descanso, tiempo para aprovechar también para hacer un concurso con nuestros jóvenes aficionados. Vamos a jugar al 3 en raya, muy fácil. Les explico cómo funciona, pero seguramente ya lo saben. Van a tener que anotar una canasta y una vez anoten la canasta consiguen una ficha para hacer el 3 en raya. A ver, a la gente de San Lorenzo no la oigo. ¿Vale? ¿Estamos preparados? ¿Sí? ¿Preparados? Comenzamos en 3, 2, 1, ¡tiempo!
Welcome back to Tenerife. We are just coming to the end of halftime of the third place game in the 2020 Intercontinental Cup. A 48-45 margin for the Rio Grande Vipers. Lloyd, I love the way the tempo, it's one of those games that fans come in and get really excited because it's up-tempo. Can San Lorenzo keep this pace up?
Yeah, absolutely. I think both teams can keep the pace up. You know, the difference is who's going to make and miss shots in this second half. Three-point shooting we saw just before we went to break. You know, percentage-wise, the San Lorenzo 50% from beyond the three-point line in that first half. They lead it as the Vipers are only shooting 41%. The difference, though, San Lorenzo 1 of 5 in the second quarter, and the Vipers 6 of 10. So we know whoever shoots it well, they're going to start to take the lead. So who is going to knock down those open shots? Vipers, they'll be getting them. They'll be pushing the tempo. For San Lorenzo, do they have that pace of play that can use inside, outside, that can establish Batista? Oh, little worries for San Lorenzo. They're still waiting. Head coach to come out onto the floor as we're ready to get underway. They're all looking around because Nestor Garcia isn't out yet for the second half from the locker room. So the players kind of wondered who was supposed to be out there on the floor, and the change for them is Williams is going to start this second half.
Interesting, Lloyd, isn't it? When a guy doesn't play the whole of the first half, he's out there at the start of the second. He's taken on the Batista role on the inside.
Yeah.
Garcia's there now, though, real comfortable. He's back. Here we go then, start of this third quarter. And San Lorenzo have the first possession. Mata will hand off. Aguirre finds Tucker.
The only thing with this lineup, it needs this man to score a lot of points, because he is, you know, really the only creative force on the San Lorenzo lineup right now.
Whistle on the play.
Just great patience from Martin. I was really impressed. First half with him, he had 9 points, but you know, you see that he ran the floor, got the pass over the top, but his poise and his patience in and around the basket to not force the shot, wait for a cut to happen, wait for the defense to see what they're going to do. Very impressive from him. He's been quiet in this one after he played so well yesterday.
Referee and table just conferring, but Isaiah Taylor will. One of the great things about Coach Del Fate is he's made a great impression with people with his positivity, and he's finding time to relax even in the middle of this tough one. Here's Aguirre. Moves it on. Tucker puts it on the floor, breaks it down, gets all the way to the ring for two.
Well, said he's got to be the creative force, and he is. Dar Tucker, we said, is the current scoring champion of the Intercontinental Cup Final Four. He got that title last year, scoring more points than anyone else.
Three is gone and is in and out for Sampson, who started the game real quick as Tucker goes up, gets the drop. Tough finish. Super finish by Tucker. Turnover, Tucker's going again. 1 on 3 though, you think he thinks about that and says, no, I'll move the ball on. Pinero finds Mata. That combination has been really effective. Here's Williams. Gets it inside, outside Pinero to find Tucker. Puts it on the floor. Needs a pass, finds one. Great ball movement, great patience, and Pinero finishes off with a 3.
Vipers just a step slower coming out of this break. Offensively and defensively, they haven't found that next gear yet.
And one for Taylor, what a move. Took all the contact.
Just incredible for Taylor, the ability to go from kind of, you know, medium to instant. Watch this, just the change of speed right there. Straight over Williams, who is known as a shot blocker. That's kind of his bread and butter as a defender, shot blocker, rebounder. And just like he wasn't there, as we see an incredible finish from Tucker. So both ways, guards making great athletic plays at the ring.
Williams holds on, finds Tucker, lines it up, goes down to Pinheiro, but he deflects that out of bounds. Tremendous finish again by Taylor. Over the top, and great down the floor. Matter to Pinheiro. Great block. Oh! Oshis just flew to pin that against the backboard. They go upstairs, and it's overthrown. Let's just catch our breath, because it's one of those games where you don't have a moment to really put some structure around what's going on the floor. There's the block. Flying tonight. Aguirre waits for some action away from the basketball. Matter lines his feet up for the three. He's short. Williams on the glass. Great work. Is blocked again. This time, a combination of Oshis and Rotes get the block down the other end. Straight away to running at it. Taylor spins, lays it back. Marlin lines up the three, drops one. And you're almost grateful for the made basket to catch your breath.
Taylor gets it, attacks, fakes a pass, dribbles all the way back out again, finds Martin, who drills a three, an offensive foul. Pinheiro trying to use his size advantage. And when Taylor gets going, he's just an engine. He really is. His constant movement, his ability to break a guy down off the dribble, frees everything up. That's a good call. Pinheiro just kind of hooked with his hands behind him. A lot of space for Taylor.
Taylor again off the glass. He's blocked this time, Williams. It's like an air show out there.
This is what we talked about the finish before from Taylor. Williams is a great shot blocker, as he shows there. 1-1 in that battle.
Williams again gets a piece. Roach finds himself outside the three-point line. Kicks it. The three is deep and solid and made by Sampson.
And that's the problem with having Williams out there on the floor. You know, he's guarding a guy on the three-point line. Tried to help.
Tucker thought he got fouled on the way through, blows the layup. 4 on 3 down the end. Just make the open decision, and they just opened the floor up for Roach. You have to stop the ball. And they did, and he finishes it. And it's an 11-point game for the Vipers. This could get out of hand for San Lorenzo if they don't change this right now.
Just incredible. Look at this from Roach. But, you know, Williams has played well, but just by having him on the floor, it gives something for the Vipers to attack. So they got him into a switch, and then Williams is having to play a guy out on the perimeter. He didn't do anything wrong, but he just doesn't have that quickness to be able to help and recover, and he's not trained in the same way to be guarding off the ball in those positions. So he was a little bit slow. They gave up the three. Then in transition, he's not quick enough to keep up with, you know, as very few people are, to keep up with the Vipers in transition. And that's 5 in a row for them just off that.
So 6:04 to go in the third, and San Lorenzo will hope that timeout will just get a little bit more of control back into proceedings. I do think Tucker was fouled on the previous possession on the way through. I think the referees, which I really don't like, they decided he was going to make the layup, so they didn't make the call. He blew the layup, and going the other way was the three-point open shot. So here we go. It's so important for San Lorenzo to get a little bit more control into this. Tucker has it. Puts it on the floor, breaks it down. Williams is in his way more than anything else. Roach just flew. Tucker's going up. Gets fouled that time, and it's called. And Roach doesn't like the call, but probably that's a carryover from the call that was missed.
It's pretty decent defense from Sampson, wasn't it? You know, kept his man in front. Not sure what more he could do. That is why Dar Tucker is such a handful of a matchup.
Tucker on the free throw line. Will stroke the first and get a very friendly roll from the ring.
Well, to show you his scoring ability, Dar Tucker played some time in the G League. He actually, at the time, set the record for most points in a single game. Back when he was playing for the Reno Bighorns against the Texas Legends, he had 58 points in a G League game. So,
to the corner, the three is ringing in and out, and Pinero missed a chance to really make a statement after the timeout. Roach all the way is blocked by Williams.
And there's the positives he does bring, Austin Williams, when you can keep him around the ring. You know, he's an excellent defender of the paint, great rebounder as well.
Roach will sit. He's going to be replaced by Thornwell. And Williams gets another block. Ball goes out of bounds, and Williams single-handedly, to an extent, has stopped the Vipers in their tracks on those two possessions.
And all credit to him, because that's almost an identical play as the one before, where he got caught not being able to recover and gave up the three. That time, excellent sort of learning from Williams to know that.
And Pinero turns it over really poorly. Oh, and the missed dunk going the other way. Oh, she's just too casual. Skipped. Mata lines it up for three, is good, and he really punishes Osius for the miss. And San Lorenzo, after the timeout, have dragged themselves back to 7 down with 4:49 to go. Timeout for the Vipers.
Oh, what a big play that might be. Good momentum for San Lorenzo. It was another turnover, but it wasn't one that was punished, which has been rare in this game.
What are we doing? The game's not over. Turnover, shot clock violation, missed up. Those are last 3 possessions. Hey, dribble, chin, clear. You got it? Dribble, chin, clear. All right? I want you to be here. I see here. No. I see you don't have the ball out there.
It's good job by coach, just re-emphasizing the fact that we're in a real game here. Just relaxed a little too much. They got sloppy. They missed the dunk. They got the turnovers, the violation. They've got to re-establish themselves, because one thing about this San Lorenzo team, they have ways to score, and they've already proved in this game they can build leads. So,
as you said, the problem was the 3 consecutive plays for the Vipers. Not just the one, not the missed dunk, but it was the missed dunk on top of the other plays as well.
So Mr. Garcia goes up the floor after the timeout. He'll probably play a little soft up the floor just to make him think a little, which is what's happened. So Taylor will advance it. Osius has it outside the 3-point line. They go upstairs on the lob, and they overthrow it again. They love that play, but just cannot complete it. The pass just doesn't go. Mata for 3, got it!
That's twice they've been punished, isn't it?
8-0 run, Lloyd.
Yeah, well, the missed dunk and a 3. Now the missed lob and a 3.
Taylor to the ring for 2, doesn't get it. Offensive rebound, Martin goes back up. Taylor, and they will wipe it off because they'll send Martin to the free throw line.
Williams is frustrated they've got a foul on him. He should be happy, because it was going to be an easy layup for Taylor on the other side. Now they're going to make the 2 from the line. And I think Coach Agafat is frustrated at his team as well, because it was a designed play for them, the lob. but the lob is the first option. So if it's there, great. If it's wide open, take it. But if not, there's a lot more action to come. And I think he's frustrated. They're forcing, almost taking it for granted that they can make these easy plays.
Well, that's exactly what it looked like. You're absolutely so right that there was too much traffic, which caused the overthrow. 2 for 2 from the line. That steadies the ship a little bit for the Vipers. Here's Aguirre, who gets the early screen from Williams, who's been really effective in this second half. Chain kick, Tucker lines up the 3 with the left hand that time, Lloyd. Aguirre moves it on. Mata. Aguirre drops it inside to Tucker, who goes inside, goes with a tough one. Williams all over the glass, powers back up, has it knocked away, and they're out of bounds, and it will go back to San Lorenzo. Tucker disappointed with himself, I think, for missing the first one.
The presence of Williams, once again, he's the one who isn't knocked away, but really has been a difference maker. We saw him for not even a second of the action in the first half because he was on and the ball was turned over before it came in. He got subbed out again. He's really been good here, changing the game.
Aguirre will take the Williams screen. All gets a bit messy. Mata, little head and shoulder fake. Can't complete the layup. Wants the foul. Doesn't get any love at all. Here's Marty in transition. Waits for Taylor. Taylor has. Takes the ball screen, gets to the elbow, and kicks. Ball puts it on the floor. Is blocked by Williams again. Mata gets it off to Tucker, who goes inside, doesn't get the 2, gets his own rebound, and 1. Tucker just would not quit, relentlessly goes back up. And all of a sudden, we're at a 4-point game and a 3 throw to come.
Well, in my eyes, Williams has changed his game.
Yeah.
Not even scoring as we see Tucker is doing that. He's carrying the load offensively for San Lorenzo. But in terms of everything else, Williams has changed the game. Now he's going out. And Justin Williams heads to the bench, scoreless, but he's got 2 rebounds and 4 blocks.
Well, I hope he's gone out because he needs a blow with 3 to go in the third, and they'll bring him back early in the 4th.
Well, he's got 3 fouls, so I don't know if they're taking him out for that, but...
He looks pretty gassed as well. He's probably never had to get that far away from the hoop and play defense in a long time. Here's Maker. Puts it on the floor. He'll advance it because he's guarded by Batista. And that means Batista's waiting for him at the keyway. Turnover. Here comes Mata the other way. He's having a super game. Drops it into Aguero. Batista goes up, gets the 2 in his time and space.
He's not going to get moved when he gets position around the basket. That's what he's able to do. Again, turnovers for Vipers. We saw it second half, primarily 4th quarter for them yesterday, but once more, turnovers are hurting them. And 14 on the game for the Vipers.
Well, they're going to get that one again. Not really sure why the table decided to, unless they were trying to squeeze the substitution in quickly. And they look to me, Lloyd, as though they've almost, because they've relaxed, they've lost a little bit of focus.
Yeah, just lost their rhythm.
Yeah. One of those things, doesn't matter if you're the Vipers playing quick or a team playing a different pace. If you lose that focus and get out of your rhythm, you're going to struggle to find it and get it back.
But they haven't played with that same pace and purpose that we seen from them first half and on Friday night.
Yeah.
At all.
Here's Mata. Tucker will take the screen now. They'll go down to Mata. And Roach is going to foul because he initiated the contact in the block. Roach is struggling with the interpretations regularly.
We've seen that a few times at the backcourt at the end of the half.
Yep.
They were frustrated at that, but FIBA rules, clear backcourt violation. Took off in the front court, hadn't established himself in the backcourt, so it's a bit different to the way it's in their regular rules. Of course, they play NBA with a couple of changes, some experimental rules for them in the G League.
Mata goes with the right hand, rainbows one up, doesn't get the drop. Here's Maker, he gets the rebound, wants to get rid of this and does, to Boykins. He's had another quiet night, Boykins.
Yeah.
Roach, offensive foul on the ball screen. Maker just moved the hips. And that's another turnover. And again, not generated by the defense, generated by just lack of execution.
Yeah, they're unforced errors over and over again.
Batista has it, will skip it. Extra pass, Aguirre. Batista's on the inside, can't hold on to. Claim the rebound, Boykins will give it up. Oshia stops, fires the three, is long. And Phillip, who's back in the game, hopefully building on his really nice first half performance, turns it straight over. Boykins, if there is a thing as slowing it up, does that. Brown has it. Maker gives him a ball screen. Skips it, extra pass, Roach turns that down, gets to the middle. Little floater at the ring, doesn't get the drop. And Phillip, and that's going to be a San Lorenzo basketball as Boykins knocks it out of bounds. Oshis is going to sit. Thornwell checks in. And Vildosa. Well, one thing you can say about Nestor Garcia, at times he will rotate this team regularly, but what he does, he gives them blocks of time.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of in-out time. You get your block, and then someone else comes in for their block. And he's trying to keep people with some energy in the legs. He's done that so well and necessary in this game in particular. Gonzalez, who's having another quiet night. Tucker off the Batista screen. Batista wanders, now wants deep, is open. Boykins loses the contact with him. Batista goes up and just muscles his way to the glass.
He's done a much better job than Shermadini yesterday on Friday. His ability to score around the ring. Batista, 10 points for him.
Maker's fumbled it. Phillip's in quicker to it. Thinks about it and then makes a smart decision. Didn't really have a wide open option, so Vildosa has it. Batista dives again. Roach a little quicker, gets in front. Vildosa drops the pass. Gonzalez gets the mid-range, is short, and it just looked heavy-legged. He's only just come back into the game. Boykins for two. Blows it, but Maker's on the glass, has it knocked away, recovers it, tries to power up. And the foul is on Gonzalez, and Vildosa is going to be disappointed because I think he felt he had a good chance of grabbing it.
At the line, younger brother of Thon Maker, plays in the NBA. So originally was born in South Sudan. Family moved to Australia when they were younger. And, back to Maker. He's spent a lot of time high schools in the US, Canada. In his last couple of years, as he's starting his professional career, spent some time in Slovenia, some time in Switzerland as well, before heading back to the US.
10 seconds remain in the quarter. A quarter that really has belonged until that moment to San Lorenzo. Brown breaks it down, goes up with a floater and blows it, and they blow yet another shot at the ring, which has been the story of the last 3 or 4 minutes of that third quarter. And they were now set up. The third place game in the FIBA Intercontinental Cup is 68-66 at the end of 3, with the Vipers with a narrow 2-point lead. Set up nicely, Lloyd.
Yeah, it's a fascinating game, and the Vipers just seem to have lost that energy. We said pre-game San Lorenzo probably going to have to score 100 to beat them, but it's not been that game, has it? Vipers, they haven't played, and after giving them so much credit of not changing from what they do, and it being up and down, actually in that third quarter they did. It became a slow-down game, the tempo much better for San Lorenzo than it is for the Vipers.
And the other thing to talk about, Lloyd, I think, is the impact, as you picked up during that the third quarter. in the way that Justin Williams came into the game and just literally just sparked San Lorenzo when I think it was almost in danger of it getting out of control for him. They'd gone double digits down. Williams came in, blocks, he changed the whole nature of the game.
No, you're absolutely right, Mark. Williams, he hasn't even scored, but he changed the game for me in that third quarter. His ability to slow down, and play defense to help his team. But really, it was the second half of that third quarter from the Vipers, probably their poorest sort of 5-minute spell of this tournament so far. They missed a lot of easy shots in and around the ring. They didn't get the three-point shot away. They didn't shoot in the same, number and frequency as they would be hoping. See if they were just saving their legs for this finish.
Well, we're set up 68-66. 10 minutes between one of these teams being the third place team in the 2020 Intercontinental Cup. As we've said before, real celebration of the World Game. And it will be the Vipers who will have the half-court possession at the start of this fourth quarter. Taylor will get them into the half-court. A little easy.
Yeah, well, Taylor was out for that 5-minute spell as well. So, see if that was a reason why their offense didn't quite click together. He often is the catalyst for them.
Tucker finds Vildosa. Batista wants, they're taking him off the block, but he's got it. Great cut. Phillip again down the middle. Sort of deja vu moment from the first half.
It's that same angle.
Normal penetrates, kicks to the corner. The corner three is short. Defensive rebound by Tucker, who's playing extended minutes. Filler up, puts it on the floor, goes strong, far side of the ring, tries to manufacture a shot, and possibly not the best option. Because going the other way, but they turn it over.
Turnovers, turnovers, turnovers. It's going to be the key to this one. Whoever looks after the ball, I think, is going to be victorious here. We've seen guys like Fuller, same with Santi Justa Friday night. Bigger guards can have success against this Vipers team if they can, cut and move off the ball.
And Gonzalez also got to be productive in this fourth period. Batista looks for the pass. Now he needs another one. They go down the middle, hits the weak side elbow. Vildosa for three is off. Monty comes down with a rebound, has the option for Taylor in transition. No one stops him, spins to the far side of the ring and blows the two-footer. Vildosa will go the other way. Filler up, who never backs out, but kicks it. Gonzalez. Nice kick, Vildosa's wide open. Drops the three. And the Vipers are going to take a timeout. And Lloyd, I think we're going to hear that timeout that talks about focus and finishing and doing what they do, because they have made numerous unforced errors and have now given up the lead as San Lorenzo lead it 71-70. It's a Viper timeout.
It's the first lead in a long time. First lead since 37-35 back in the start of the second quarter for San Lorenzo, but they deserved it. Vipers, they've missed opportunities, they've turned it over. See the bench scoring there for San Lorenzo. Look at guys like Phillip, who has 13 points. A big reason for that for San Lorenzo, and they've been the better team in this second half.
Come on! Defense on three, 1, 2, 3.
.08 to go in the third place game of the 2020 FIBA Intercontinental Cup. And San Lorenzo, the champions from the Liga Americas, have a 1-point lead over the G League champions, which is what all this competition is all about. Taylor straight down the middle, blows the layup, but will go to the line for 2.
He looks like he's going to try and take this one over a bit, Taylor. Second time in a row we've seen him penetrate and get into the basket. He needs to get some return from it. Missed the last one, got fouled clearly here. That caused him to miss, but he needs to make these free throws.
That's always the place to go to get some rhythm and focus back, get on the line, do what you do every single time, get that same routine going. He makes the first. We're tied at 71.
A lot of experience at the NBA level for Isaiah Taylor. 71 in career NBA games. Played pretty much the entire season with Atlanta, a bit of time with Houston as well. So he does have good experience.
San Lorenzo into the half court. That's a bit harsh. I thought Thornwell knocked it back into the back court, but no real complaint from Phillips. So let's take a look. No, he didn't. Absolutely right by the official. Phillips just lost control of it. They're the moments. They've just gone 2 from the line. They're the moments that you can build some momentum on. Important for the Vipers to get something good this time. Here is Taylor, who is seeing a lot of the basketball. Guarded by Vildosa. Forces him to take the short 2, and he kisses the glass.
I'm not sure if it's by design or if Taylor's just doing it, but they've just given him space to play one-on-one right now. San Lorenzo have got to try and make it a 5-on-5 game, force him to be a passer.
Gonzalez will take the Batista screen. Vildosa looks for Batista down low. There's that cut again. This time is the pull-up jump shot, which is short. They look long. Taylor in transition to go upstairs. Oh, beautiful little throwdown. Sampson gets on the end of the lob. And a nice spell for the Vipers. They go 76-71, timeout San Lorenzo. And is Williams going to come back? Because I think it's the sort of game that he would help.
Yeah, I wonder, oh, he is coming back. And that's the right call. They need him. They need his defensive presence to try and plug up the middle to stop the one-on-one of Taylor, because he's just, you know, causing havoc right now. And again, turnovers causing problems for San Lorenzo. And just these little details. That time they went into the low post with Batista. The cut from Fuller, rather than it be a layup, which he's got twice, it was a foul line jumper instead. And then he misses it. He's got to continue his cut, get to the ring and finish rather than take the jump shot. And when he misses, we know the other way Vipers are pushing.
Nesta Garcia. Well, this game has been as we thought it would be. It's been a game of runs. You had early double-digit lead for San Lorenzo. You had a double-digit lead for the Vipers. We're now back to a 5-point Viper lead. Williams is back. Aguirre is back. The only person that you'd expect to possibly see on the floor sooner rather than later is Dar Tucker. Here's Aguirre. Important they get something good after the timeout. Mata wraps the pass round. Aguirre has it. They're going to gap Aguirre because he's not going to look to shoot it. Vildosa has it. Moves it on to Aguirre to the corner. Mata back to Aguirre. This time does fire the 3. Is short. And the Vipers on the run again. Taylor. The 3 is gone. It's short. Great work by super work by Sampson. Gets the rebound, then makes the pass, and the easy 2 for Martin.
Well, that's what they can do. They can use Martin as a 3-point shooter to draw Williams out. Means he's away from the ring, and they can crash the boards with other guys, try and penetrate there.
Not a lot of offense on the floor here for San Lorenzo. Well, there should be, because Gonzalez is one of their big scorers. Nice give and go. Well, I want to see this again, because you tell me this is a basketball action, because he got him on a straight. He just stopped. He went straight past him, held him back. It's one of those fouls I just hate, because you just foul him because you've got out of position.
That's Martin's 4th, so he's had to go out. And after I just said now he can extend the floor, stretch. By pulling Williams away from the basket, you can't. as much with Maker. I mean, Maker can shoot the three, but not as well as Martin can.
Aguirre gets it in. Gonzalez, who's been so quiet for his numbers for the season. Now takes the long three, and that looks like a man who's looking for points. Brown for three, in rhythm. Oh.
He's been quiet second half, Brown. We said he was 5 of 7 yesterday. Hasn't had a clean look here, but just like that's a 10-point game.
Yep.
How did that happen?
Here's Williams, who finds Mata. Aguirre looks to get open, goes back door, and that's where he was about 2 dribbles ago. That's all about pressure. It's all about passing lane defense and denial, because Brown was all over the lane.
Like I said, turnovers are going to, be a big factor in this one. Another one for San Lorenzo. 23 on the game now for them.
Taylor with the quick drive, but blows the layup. Aguirre leads the floor here for San Lorenzo, keeps going and kicks. Gonzalez for 3 is long, and he just doesn't look in rhythm. Going the other way, Sampson tries to get to the ring, doesn't, needs a pass, it's turned over. Tucker's back, and he has it. Guarded by Oshias, Tucker's in the lane, will go to the free throw line for 2, and he is frustrated. He should be there for the extra point. Well, you made the point a number of times. Probably a 10-point game. You think, what's a team going to do? 10-point game between these two is nothing.
No, we've seen it repeatedly. It's got to double digits. Both teams have had double-digit leads in this game and been pulled back again. So it's nothing as Tucker goes to the line.
But needs to make both of these. There's only 5 to go, and we know that the leads can disappear in a moment on this in this game. But if you're on the free throw line, game's on the line, you really do need to complete. He only goes 1 for 2. Maker comes down, gets it to Brown. But Jabari Brown gets it over the halfway line, guarded by Mata. Mata's put in a shift tonight. Here's Taylor, wraps the pass. Step back by Sampson for 3 is short. Aguirre will advance the basketball. Turnover, but recovers, does a great job. Watch out, Williams is going to go up and just about squeaks it. Took off a long way away.
So close to a turnover, which would have been 2 and a breakaway for the Vipers. Instead, worked out for San Lorenzo.
Brown again, this time comes up long with it. Gonzalez ekes out, Maker's going up. Great finish by Gonzalez. That should get him going.
Well, as you said, Mark, 10-point lead is nothing. We're now back within 5. The Vipers are slowing it down for the first time. I haven't done this a lot. It's an offensive foul.
It has to be an offensive foul, yeah.
He is, but Aguirre is holding him. The moment he hadn't held him, Taylor was always going to push him off. Let's have a look. We can't see it from that angle. Yeah. It's the 2 hands of Aguirre. They're almost hugging Taylor.
And you just need to see it a little bit earlier than they showed us, because the problem was earlier.
Yeah, at the end, no doubt. Taylor pushed him at the end when the referee saw it.
Well, as you say, 5-point game now to get the ball back. It's their turn to have the run. Aguirre drops it inside to Williams, who faces up, gets a little help. Extra pass, Mata attacks the closeout. Aguirre ships it on. Gonzalez in rhythm this time. Drops the 3. 2-point game. Sampson, soft touch, doesn't get it. Williams is back in the play. Maker is fouled out 1.
That's a tough finish for Maker.
Did well to actually grab it.
Yeah, really good hands. I want to talk on the other end, though, from the Vipers. You know, this is the first time really they rotated, but perhaps too much, because they rotated it out onto Aguirre, who we know isn't a shooter. He struggled to make shots, scoreless yesterday, made one at the end of a shot clock today, but left then the extra pass to Gonzalez, who's career 40% three-point shooter.
Aguirre is fouled in transition, and well, it doesn't matter what you are, it doesn't matter the sort of style. When you get to end of games, things all get a little bit tighter. And that's the first time the Vipers had to foul because they weren't back in transition. Gonzalez who's now, it appears, back in normal service being resumed. Struggling to get it in. They go to Williams out of bounds. Gonzalez wants it back. Sends Williams to the block.
Martin's got 4. He doesn't want to foul out.
Tucker thinks about it, puts it on the floor, wraps it, turns it over. Brown has it. And has it turned over. Gonzalez 4-on-2 here going the other way. Gonzalez sets his feet, knocks down the 3, and all of a sudden the whole rhythm comes flowing back into that. Well, he's one of their leading scorers every week in, week out, and he's back in the game.
Yeah, well, he is a bunch scorer, isn't he, when he gets going, as you can see.
Rob Williams just made Rhodes think about it. Gonzalez in a different place. They skip it. Aguirre got inside to Tucker. They have the lead. Well, it was 10. It's now a 1-point advantage the other way. Ebbs and flows. Here's Taylor.
1 timeout left for each team, so they're going to have to let him play here for a minute.
Taylor steps back, way off, and not in rhythm at all.
No.
Here's Tucker.
Poor shot from Taylor, that one.
And
Not the possession they wanted.
Tucker does what you'd hope he would do. Give it to Gonzalez. Because Gonzalez at the moment is in a different place. He's been for the whole game. Thinks about the deep 3, sends Williams away. Attacks it on the right hand to the ring for 2. Super finish.
Yeah, he said Gonzalez has scored double figures in his last 4 games in the Champions League Americas.
Martin will hand it off. Whoa! They called a foul, they call it late. I think they called it right though. And that's all that matters.
The only thing I would ask is Dormo jumped a long way to the side, but Williams did too, to be fair. Yeah. And I think he might have got him on the wrist. Yeah.
And the worry for me is, would they have made it if he'd have scored? It's a foul. Call the foul.
Yeah, it's a 5th foul against Williams, and that is huge. That is absolutely huge, him having to go out. Oh, he stayed on.
But he's not being asked to leave the game. So is it 4?
It says 4 on our board here in the arena. And it says 4 on our statistics as well. So I think the caption was wrong. That's 4 on Williams, but that's going to be massive. I think they go at him again, see if they can draw the 5th, because without him, it just completely changes their defense.
4 points for Thornwell. 1 point lead for San Lorenzo. Guerre's fouled. And if you're looking around the floor, the last guy who's going to take it to the ring early is Aguirre. Great decision.
Yeah, it was a little disguised play, wasn't it? Aguirre saw the opportunity, and he is a vet. I mean, he's the captain of this team for a reason. We've said he's not a scorer. That's not what he does. But he organises. He's usually 8.5 points a game. He's 31 years of age. So we know that he can make plays, and he's there for a reason.
Aguirre. And with the firepower on the way to Vipers, you've got to say, well, he's got to make both, because at least it gives him a 3.1 possession lead.
And what he can do, 82% from the free throw line on the season. So he averages 8 a game. Nearly 2 of them come from the line.
So he's been here before. He's a veteran. He strokes both.
Good play at the right time. Exactly what you want from the point guard.
Here comes Isaiah Taylor. Gets it off to Martin out top. Taylor gets it back. Much slower tempo here. Brown not being afraid to shoot the ball. Gets inside now. Gets to the ring. And Williams again just protects the ring.
But not only that, what a box out from Aguirre, because Williams went over and it left Martin free to rebound. Aguirre got inside and held Martin off really effectively.
Aguirre in the lane, floats it for 2. The point guard, the veteran, who we've talked about not scoring, not even looking to score, makes 2 plays back-to-back, goes to the line on 1, finishes the layup on the other one, and boxes out in between. Great play by the veteran. The Vipers take the timeout. They're 5 down with 1:21 to go.
Well, as you said, Mark, that is value possessions from your point guard. Down crunch time, he's made 3 consecutive plays to help him. So when you look yesterday and we said coming into this one. He played big minutes yesterday, 28 minutes for 0 points and 1 assist on the box score. But the value of Nicolas Aguirre is shown there because of the way he's played.
You're coming through, Rio. Pin down, right here. You're coming out, look the hand. All right, Johnny? Come on, go.
5 points, minute 20 to go. Plenty of time for the Vipers, though.
That's an eternity for the Vipers, like.
Yeah, I mean, Taylor's probably going to go straight at the ring, score in about 5 seconds here.
Here goes Taylor, then guarded by Aguirre, who's been the man in the last 2 minutes. Don't forget he pulled the offensive foul as well. Here's Brown, drops it inside. Thornwell has it. Will kick it back. Brown, feet set from the three-point line, drops it in rhythm.
Looks so casual, Brown, but he's such a great shooter. Great design to play out of the timeout as well.
Intercontinental Cup 2020, third place games. Do they ever matter? This one does. Here's Tucker. Puts it on the floor, gets to the ring, far side of the ring. Williams, what a rebound and one! You can't see it, we can. Nesta Garcia jumped with him on the rebound, went back up, and he's there. He's now playing defense with Gonzalez. Great finish.
Justin Williams, what a game he has had. He's only scored 4 points now. But a bit like Aguirre, making the plays when they matter. He's done it defensively.
Big free throw. And he makes it. This has been a super fourth quarter. A great fourth quarter. It's not done yet. Here's Taylor. Gets the ball screen from Martin, who rolls. Ball well down the lane. Williams is fouled, and he will sit down now.
Taylor's shaken up as well. He's on the floor, right at the top of the three-point line. So Williams is gone. That's a big loss for them.
Big call about what they do coming back. Do they bring in a big? Do they go with Pinero, who's on the bench? It's a big call for Nesta Garcia.
Surely you'll go Batista and get Batista to be a touch as the focal point.
Nesta Garcia never worried about making a big decision. He makes it.
Going small. And
he brings in Pinero, so he goes with the 2 fours. Gonzalez and Aguirre and Tucker. It's a big call.
There's a lot of discussion before they made the sub. They took their time. They've got Tucker and Gonzalez for the scoring. Aguirre to make the play.
Has to make at least one of these.
2 would have been good to make it a one-possession game, though.
He's got to make the one here. It'll give him a chance to win it with 2 possessions, but Thornwell, step up, make your throws, end of game time. 1 for 2. Aguirre will inbound. Tucker's the man who wants and gets. Both teams in the penalty. He is fouled on the sideline, and Tucker's going to go to the free throw line. Right or left hand, Luke?
That's the ultimate question. Tucker, I mean, he's a 71% free throw shooter in the Basketball Champions League Americas this season. So it's not automatic for him. He's obviously had struggles from the line. The fact he is a lefty, he shoots his threes left-handed, shoots free throws right. So
he went 1 for 2 in his last trip.
And these are big shots.
Makes the first.
He's a big player, Tucker.
It's like one of those situations, isn't it? Who's going to blink first? And Tucker on that free throw line didn't look like he was going to blink at all.
He's got 20 points.
Yeah.
And it's almost been a quiet 20 for him, really.
2 for 2 from the line. That's ice in the blood, in the veins. Thornwell, we're going to go offensive. Oh, Mata with a huge play. Garcia made it. Nesta Garcia was on the floor with him. Would love to see it again. And another turnover, and turnovers, well, he's there. But who initiated the contact? But it's called, so what doesn't matter? It's 95 to 89. It's been an unbelievable fourth quarter. For San Lorenzo, they're in touching distance now, but this is never over, this game. 25.3, they inbound, Gonzalez gets it, they take the early foul. It's already a 6-point game, it's already a 2-possession game. But the clock is really the enemy right now. 'Vipers have no timeout as Gonzalez misses the first. San Lorenzo have one. Big time free throw. This will make it a 3-possession game. And he does. Taylor's got to go. And he does. And Gonzalez fouls him, which will mean they'll be shooting the free throws. Gonzalez hangs around the free throw line just to discuss the weather in Tenerife with Taylor. Absolute must to make both. And Lloyd, San Lorenzo will almost certainly foul every trip now.
Yeah, it's going to be a free throw shooting contest here for the Vipers. They need to make these, they need to be up the floor. The trouble is they've got no timeouts left, so they can't stop the game. Well, they can with subs, saying that, but they can't stop the games very easily. They need to make free throws, they need to be up, ideally a 5-second violation.
They miss it, but great rebound. Wide open for Brown for three, is long.
Oh.
And Gonzalez comes down with it, goes long, puts it into Pinheiro, gets it to Tucker, who decides not to. And San Lorenzo, in a fourth quarter comeback, have won the third-place game in the Intercontinental Cup, 96 to 90. And if you ever doubt third-place games, this is why we have them. Tremendous performance. San Lorenzo, down double digits, come back and win this one, 96 to 90 over the Rio Grande Vipers. Only 37% from the three-point line, Lloyd, with their style of play, is probably where the game is.
Well, San Lorenzo made more threes than the Vipers. Big key to it. I thought that San Lorenzo were very good today for their win. You know, they had a lot of step-up performances. Guys like Williams played really well before he fouled out. Philip played really well as well. You know, Batista did a good job, a difficult style to play against for him, so all credit. And of course, they've got Tucker, who we know is going to come and put points on the board.
Well, that was coming into the game. I thought, are they going to just get run over? Is the game going to run past them? But the obvious answer with the outcome is no. You've got to say, Nesta Garcia, the way he controlled tempo, really did a nice job. And end of games, Lloyd. End of games, experienced players, your leaders come through.
Well, and that is an interesting point. The roster for Vipers, you look at the ages, you know, they are young players, where we saw the experience of a guy like Aguirre there down the stretch. He had those 3 back-to-back plays, didn't he? You know, got to the foul line, then he boxed out on the defensive end, then he got the score as well. Really important plays at a crucial time for San Lorenzo. So, you know, he doesn't wow you with the box score numbers, Aguirre, just 7 points, but those points came at the right times.
Well, that was after that offensive foul as well. You wrap up those 4 plays in the fourth quarter, and all of a sudden, the team that looked was close. And now, you made the point, Lloyd, in commentary. The steal and the missed dunk, which led to the timeout for the Vipers, set a tone, and they could never break out of that tone.
Yeah, I don't know what it was. They just didn't really seem to get the rhythm that we've seen from them. You know, the first half they found it. In that second quarter especially, they went 6 of 10 for 3 during that period. But after the second half, it looked a little leggy for them. I mean, they've played a tough game on Friday night. They've travelled, obviously, from North America. I'm not sure if that had anything to do with them. This is a team that's used to travelling, playing a lot of games. So I don't think they'll look at that. But just in both games, when they needed to, they didn't make those important plays. Think back to the semi-final loss on Friday against Tenerife. What was the press conference about? You know, we were asking about the fourth quarter turnovers for Vipers. When they needed plays, they turned it over on that occasion. And same thing here, when they needed plays, they never got the stop they needed. You know, we see the drive there from Gonzalez. He stepped up in the second half. Aguirre stepped up in the second half. And they were able to finish plays that Vipers weren't.
Well, as you're watching these replays, there's the three by Brown. I thought that three at that point as he stroked another one. There's the action. With 1 minute and 5 to go, they were right back in it. But then Williams with the +1 play as well. And how important was Williams in the way he changed just the nature and feel of the game?
Well, he's the one player who's been able to bother the offense of the Vipers in this tournament. His ability to anchor down the middle, reject shots, or, you know, not only the shots that he did block, but there was a couple of other times when the Vipers drove.
Number of times either team left. Both teams had double-digit leads. Both teams had real momentum swings, biggest scoring runs of 10, 13 points each. It was just one of those games, end-to-end, yes, but intense. And sometimes third-place games, you don't always find them being that competitive, but this one was absolutely there as a competition.
Yeah, absolutely, Mark. 25 minutes, the Vipers led for, nearly 11 minutes that San Lorenzo led for, so you can see, you know, both teams had their opportunity. San Lorenzo, they trailed by 11, and they had a 10-point advantage of their own early on in the game. So both teams had the opportunity to win it, and it was played with great spirit from both teams. And as you say, sometimes a third-place finish doesn't have the intensity that we saw in this one.
Well, the presentation party will be making its way to the middle of the court. And they're going to present the 3 officials first, who I think, Lloyd, as the officiating's been here in every game so far, did a really nice job at keeping control while letting it flow. And Mr. Conde from Spain leading the 3 officials out. And I'm sure they'll get a photo shot. And it's always difficult, I think, sometimes with these events where referees from different regions come together. It's a great testimony to the way that the referees are managed and controlled, that you get a standard and everyone's on the same page. And there was a few misunderstandings, should we say, from Rio Grande Valley Vipers, but that's to be expected.
Well, when a team plays a completely different set of rules, you know, credit to the officials for breaking it down, explaining it. You know, constantly you see on the inbound possessions, the referees talking to the Vipers players, making sure they're aware of where they get into the ball.
So the presentation party will now make the presentation of the awards to the Rio Grande Valley Vipers. And they've really added to this competition, just in style of play, has brought a real dimension to it.
I mean, a fantastic addition to this tournament. I think I've enjoyed watching them play. I've enjoyed the way they've played the game, a completely different style to the other teams here in attendance, and I think that's added to it. So all credit to them. Yes, they go home with a 4th place finish, but you know, really outside of 2 fourth quarters, I think you know it could have been so much more for them. Disappointment in the semi-final loss, disappointment today.
Well, Coach Abdel Fateh has made a lot of friends in his short time here in Tenerife. The short roster didn't help them either. Only 9 players healthy to play. That obviously, again, 2 games in 2 days, 3 days really didn't help, especially with their style of how the game is played. But they'll go home back to the United States as the 4th place finisher in the 2020 Intercontinental Cup. And the crowd beginning to build before the final, giving them a great round of applause. And they've made a lot of friends here, Lloyd. Very personable group of people, represented themselves incredibly well.
Ladies and gentlemen, to present the bronze medals, please welcome Mr. Horacio Muratore, FIBA Honorary President and Chairman of PCA Americas, and Berta Pérez Hernández, Vicepresidenta Segunda del Cabildo Insular de Tenerife.
So the presentation party for the 3rd place team makes their way to mid-court. Mr. Moratori
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the winner of the 3rd place game of the FIBA Intercontinental Cup 2020, San Lorenzo de Almagro.
and San Lorenzo de Almagro make their way to mid-court to really get a great hand from the crowd, and such a well-deserved hand because they were tremendous in the 4th quarter. San Lorenzo del Almagro, Intercontinental Cup 2020, 3rd place finish. And they bounced back from a really hard semi-final against Bologna, who was superb, to get the win and represent the Basketball Champions League of Americas with great credit. Still Williams, Dar Tucker, the last 2 players. Lester Garcia, as we've said on a number of occasions, is one of those personalities that our sport is so much richer for. And he's got an end of season to plan for with this club, looking to a 4-peat if possible in Argentina, and then a 3-peat as the winners of the 1st Basketball Champions League of Americas, but there's the 2-time winners of the Liga Americas. So San Lorenzo del Almagro are the 3rd place team in the 2020 FIBA Intercontinental Cup. An event with a great history, re-established in the last few years, and now becoming a regular feature, and a great feature where the world of basketball unites and the clubs from around different regions put it out there in a great location like this in Tenerife. It's been a tremendous performance by San Lorenzo. They've taken on and tamed, I think is the right word, a Rio Grande Valley Vipers team that really do want to rip and run, do want to shoot the three and do it very, very well. But they found a way in the fourth quarter to get enough control. And Aguirre in particular in that fourth quarter was tremendous in the way that he made some great decisions. Gonzalez came to play at the end of the game. But the man, Williams, was tremendous. See the dunk line there. Williams was absolutely phenomenal in the way he changed shots and protected the ring. But the leader of San Lorenzo in so many ways, Dar Tucker, with points, with defense, really did a super job. Great contributions off the bench as well.